Jackson on first down. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. An aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate. But that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball defensively and was able to pick it off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll get this out wide to Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. This near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
It's 3rd down and goal to go.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. Never ideal conditions in the snow for a kicker, but the first test on the opening drive, he passed it.
He certainly did. You know what the unit told me was their biggest issue playing in the snow? You just worry about something getting in your eye as the ball is snapped, and then you might miss it, and there goes 3 points off the board.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Not the way they wanted to begin things yet. The interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness.
Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
At the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Wide open receiver, complete, and touchdown! As his guys are in for 6, and his guys are going to add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 yards and a Giant first down. A first down carry for Barkley. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking for Shepard deep. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
44, Mike, 44. Yeah.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 12. He's at the 40, the 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it hit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, That means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Slam, slam, slam.
On first down, Barkley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down. On second and 12, Jackson, catch made by Slayton. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll be taken. Down at the 26.
Complete to number 13. It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, New York.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Here we go again.
Now it's Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. All day. Go, go. Just like that.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ready. 6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. A toss out to Barkley. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On third down, Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage. especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So on 4th down, on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrich Rosas. And Rosas puts this one through. And they're on the board now. It's 15-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
He's got the first down and more past midfield. And down to the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 net. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Throwing now is Rodgers. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick here is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time, and they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53. Go out. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, but it's going to be second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Jackson now. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram in the final seconds of the first half, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. No.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. It got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
First and 10.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a trunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
319. Go. Go. Check.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Running out of the gun here, Breida. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Rashawn Gary in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
Ready up. 53. Check 53. Go.
From the gun, Jackson. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Come on, QB.
Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Barkley. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. Saquon Barkley denied on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
On 2nd and inches, Rodgers trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Jackson. It's complete, and he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. Welcome back now here in London, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 11 yards there, first down.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited till the 4th quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. Here's Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. Finds his tight end Ingram. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree, all right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I'll guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
He's crazy.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. From 17 yards out. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Third time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
His guys take over first and 10.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
First and 10 at the 39.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Hey, Team 6, Team 6.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game. So hold on here. Not done in the 4th.
Check three, check three, check three.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Zadarius Smith in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's going the other way. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Zadarius Smith has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Kenny Clark make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Taylor now returning it. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, here's Breida. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for London, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.